Hello, and welcome to Creating with Colleen, where I will teach you what to do. I may teach you what not to do, but I promise to teach you something. Today I want to show you how I made these cards. I have an awesome opportunity to go to Italy on Tuesday, and I wanted to take some cards for the friends we're going with and also for the places we are staying, but I did not have time to stamp and color cards. So I have actually made these cards out of napkins. And that's what I want to show you today. So what I'm going to do is I will first show you the technique, and then I'll show you some awesome napkins and samples and how they pair together with our cardstock and our Stampin' Up stamp sets, because those really are the best. So what I'm going to do, what I tried first when doing the napkins, is I first tried using the Elmer's multi-purpose spray adhesive. And I am not recommending this. It was a lot of work. First, I had to do it outside because the spray went everywhere. Then it was messy, so it was very tacky, and it's like I couldn't move my napkin around where I wanted it. In addition to that, it got all over my hands, and it took me about 3 days to get the glue off of my hands. So this is one way you can do it, and it seems to make sense at first, but I'm not recommending this. I want to show you a fun way that actually uses Glad cling wrap. So to get started, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how I made this card here. We'll do this one first. And again, I would love to say that I stamped this and colored it, and look how beautiful I color, but I did not. This is actually a napkin. So what you're going to do is first you're going to go out and buy beautiful napkins. I promise you will never look at napkins the same way again. Now each napkin, pretty much all the ones that I've seen, they come in their 2-ply. So what that means is they have a white backing. And what you want to do is peel this backing off away from your napkin. See, you still have a napkin to wipe your mouth with, so you're really okay. But what you want is just this one piece of napkin where all of your beautiful artwork is. And then I'm just going to kind of take this and trim it down some so I don't have as big of a piece to work with. Now when I make my cards, I like to start with a full piece of cardstock. So this is a standard card size. This is 5.5 by 4.25. And the reason I do that is so that I can go ahead and have plenty of room on my napkin, and then I can trim it up. I get a nice clean edge, and I can trim it for the image that I want. So what you have to do first is you're going to take, say, a cutting board, something that's going to protect your surface. So I'll put my cutting board here. Okay. And then you want to put a piece of paper or cardstock down to protect your cutting board. I have just my white piece of cardstock, and what you want to use is the Glad cling wrap. And you have to use Glad cling wrap. The brand really does make a difference. When I first tried this, I tried making it with the Costco brand, you know, because you get like miles and miles of the cling wrap, so that made sense. But I'm here to tell you, they say the only thing that's going to survive a nuclear war are the roaches. I'm telling you, it's the roaches in the Costco cling wrap, because you could not melt that stuff with a blowtorch. Just wouldn't work. You need the Glad brand. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some of my cling wrap, and I actually like to double this because I want to make sure I have a lot of good stickiness underneath. So I can just kind of lay it on here. Like this. Hold on one second. There, magic of television. I have a smaller piece here. So I'm just going to lay it on here, and in essence what I am doing is I am melting this cling wrap between my cardstock and my my napkin. So when I put it on here, I can go ahead, see, remember I told you you could smooth it out a little bit, but then you do want to take another piece of paper and put it on top. Because after all, I don't want to ruin my iron. I love ironing cards better than clothes, but eventually I will have to iron a shirt. So I have this on a cotton setting so that it's that heat is kind of high, and I'm just going to iron my card. Let's see what that looks like. Then when I pull this up, I'll pull this back, and it's sticking pretty good to it. You can see that it's melted a lot of the saran. So you can go ahead, I want to hit that one more time, but you do have to be careful because you can actually heat it too much and lose your adhesive altogether. All right. looks like it could work. So there I have my image. So now what I want to do is I want to take my paper cutter, and it's bigger, so I can reposition this some. You know, I can make sure that my lines are straight, because once you get the first straight cut, you can work off of that. So I'll just cut that. Then I want to turn it. I'll put this here. And let's do like 5 inches. And here I'll do about 3 3/4. I think that will work pretty well. So here I have my beautiful napkin right on there. So what I will do to finish my card, I'm going to take this, and again I will put it on a piece of Elegant Eggplant. I love these two colors together. We have Elegant Eggplant, and then here I will put it on my Wisteria Wonder. And with the art of television or video, that's my finished card. So again, this was my napkin. I accented this. The stamps that I really liked using with this is the Dragonfly Dreams. I love the sayings in here. I love the dragonfly. I accented it with a gold clear gem. And then when you open it, I have You Sure Know How to Make Someone Happy. So again, it's a fun way. I love creating cards all kinds of ways. And there are some beautiful napkins out there. It's a fun way to save a little bit of time, but really to still make a beautiful card. So let me show you a couple other samples I did. This here, for the guys in your life, I found some really cool napkins with a fish on them. And then I stamped on the inside, hoping your day goes swimmingly. Because even though the napkin does the work, you really need our cardstock and our stamp sets, because both are just top of the line, especially the cardstock. So this is a Seaside Shore, and this is a stamp set I used for my fish napkins. Then we live in Virginia on the East Coast near Virginia Beach. So naturally I had to get some shell napkins. So here I have the shell napkin, and this just went beautiful with the Pierre Pizzazz cardstock and also the Island Indigo. They were the perfect colors for this card. So when I opened it, it said, "Miracles happen. May we never forget that." And I used the So Many Shells stamp set with that. And the shells I love, but what really sold this set to me were all the beautiful words in it. Seems like you can never get enough sayings to go on the front or the inside of your card. So that's what I used with that. And I also used it with this. This was probably one of my favorites. I found these wonderful napkins with these Adirondack chairs. You guys know how popular the Colorful Seasons stamp set is right now, because it has the framelets. This is a set. It has the framelets that match this with the Adirondack chair. I didn't have that at the time. So again, I went back to my So Many Shells, and again, it still worked perfect with this card. But if I had it at the time, I could have even stamped this little beach card on the inside. So you can see how our cardstocks, how our stamp sets and everything still coordinate very well. So getting back to Italy, what I'm doing is I took all those napkin cards that I made and I put them in one of our clear acetate boxes. These boxes are fantastic for gift giving. They hold 5 cards and 5 envelopes. So I have them all ready to go, and then I'm going to make a tag. My go-to tag maker is the scallop tag topper punch, because you can make tags as long and as short as you want, but as long as it's 2 inches wide, it fits right in there. So I fit it in, I punch it, and I have the makings of my tag. Now, what I used for my Italy cards is the Tuscan Vineyard stamp set. This just lends itself beautiful to it, because when I have the wine glasses and the grapes, I have grapes. And of course, for my olive branches, I have that awesome olive branch. And I also love this for the accent on my envelopes too. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take Rich Razzleberry, because that matches my cardstock. Oops, get back here. I am going to take my olive branch and I'm just going to put that down on the side. And I also want to soften this up a little bit. So I'm going to take my sponge. Now our sponges come round, it's a whole sponge. I like to cut them into 6 pieces. So I'll cut that round piece in half, then I'll take that half and cut it into thirds. And that's what I get. And then I just take a piece of cardstock and write what's on there, because after a while it's kind of hard to tell from the sponge side. So I'm just going to take this and I will fleck my edges here like so. And then what I'm going to do, I took, this is already stamped, but this was basically the stamp I had showed you, the Toscano Veneto. I am such a butcher of vocabulary. I can't believe I even tried to say that on my video. But anyways, I took this stamp. I stamped it with the rich raspberry and I punched it out with the 1-inch circle punch. Then I put it on the 1 1/4 inch green piece, the other circle. Now what I want to do is I want to put this at the top. I want to cover that hole, but I don't want to block that hole. So I'm just going to take a dimensional, and you'll see why in a minute. If I put my dimensional on here first, I don't have to worry about blocking that. And then I can just take this and position it anywhere I want. So that's my tag, and I can just write a little thank you right there. I'm going to take a piece of our jute twine, and see, I need that hole. So I'm going to slide this through the back, cut that, and then I will just tie this in a knot. I'm sure this knot has a name, but I have no clue what it is. The balloon knot, maybe that's it. That's how I tie my balloons. So I have that on there, and I'm going to cut that, and my tag is ready to go. So here I'm just going to take a piece of our gold natural twine, and I love this ribbon. I think it's great to tie on the box, but it's also great. That's what I use to accent a lot of my cards, just to give it that little bit of bling. So for here, I am going to, what I like to do is tie my string around first, then I will slide my tag on up the middle here. Looks like a lot of fingers in the way. So I have this, and then I'm just going to, God willing, I'm going to tie a bow. This is where I really need to learn how to edit, and that is my goal, because I shot this video yesterday and it was perfect, all except the part where I told you to separate the napkins, which in that case it would not work. So I am doing this video for the 3rd time. It is my goal to have this done and posted before I go to Italy, and that is Tuesday. So whatever it is today, it is. And then my goal when I come back is to learn how to edit so that I can fix the other video. I need to move forward. So that here, let me just pretend it's nice and tight. This here is my tag, and that will be my gift that I will give everybody in Italy. So I appreciate you joining me today. Again, you will never look at your napkins in the same way, nor should you. But there's all different ways to create, and I appreciate you letting me share a few of those ways with you today. So God bless you all, and I hope you'll come back and create with me again. Take care, and remember, you can get any of the Stampin' Up! Supplies that you see online on my blog at creatingwithcolleen.typepad.com. Thanks so much, and take care.